Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you all to the Detroit City Council Military and Veterans Affairs Task Force. I'm Tyrone Chapman, United States Army, CEO of this operation. I want to welcome you all to the Pentagon, where it's not just a job, it's an adventure. Hoorah. So for those who've been in service, you know the routine. All rise for the presentation of the colors. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Colored guard, order, arms. Colored guard, left, colored guard, forward, march. You may be seated. Thank you all so very, very much. So we have a pretty streamlined agenda today. And I'm going to just kind of stand in until some other folk arrive. So, but what I like to do right now, though, is I'm going to start with the lovely lady with that Garrison hat on. There's a microphone right over there. You're going to go to that mic. You're going to introduce yourself and tell us a little something about what it is that you do to help the men and women who serve this great nation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Clara Williamson Evans. I'm an Army veteran, and I am also the commander of the Disabled American Veterans Keenan Rankin Chapter 1. And what we do at our chapter, we try to support the veterans in getting their benefits. And if they come by and they might need a meal, we also offer them that. And on Fridays, we have a fish fry where we socialize, have social hours for the veterans to come by and join us. We also file claims for the veterans. And that's kind of it. We rent our hall out for repasses or any kind of meetings or events, veterans or even in the community. And we always also reach out to our community to help within our community. And we're in the process of getting a lot so we can have a garden and we can have some community feedings from our garden.
That's wonderful. Thank you so very much for what you do, and certainly thanks for your service to this great nation. Sir?
Tyrone, thank you. Bill Browning, Detroit VA Medical Center, veteran United States Army. VA, I don't know much more to say. I think you can say we do it all, so thanks.
And you just said it all. Thanks, Bill, for being here today, and thanks for your service, my friend. Ma'am?
Hello there. My name's Reverend Monica Biddle from the Church of Scientology and the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. I am mother of 2 Marines who have served. I am here, you're probably all aware of the suicide rate of veterans and, for that matter, active duty. And we have some materials, a documentary called The Hidden Enemy Inside Psychiatry's Covert Agenda, and the influence of psychotropic drugs and suicide. And that goes not only for veterans, but for just about anyone. So I have materials here if anyone is interested. We have a website and all kinds of information to help our veterans who have served and put their lives on the line. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I know some of us do a great deal, and we're just chomping at the bit to get it all out there. But there'll be opportunity during the roundtable discussions for us to hear more about what is it you do. So if you could just be succinct,
Okay.
we would certainly appreciate that in the interest of time.
Okay. We are members of the Wolverine Chapter 67, Women's Army Corps Veterans Association. I am Evelyn Kennedy, current president, and my co-partner.
I am Vita Frost, Vice President.
Lovely. Thank you, ladies. Thanks for your service. And the Women's Army Corps is on site here for any of the women who want to be engaged. I don't mean in the matrimonial sense either. Please.
Good afternoon. My name is Glenn Hayes. This is Jennifer Wah, and we're here from Detroit Training Center. We're here working in conjunction with many of the veterans for retraining, retooling to get back into some of the civilian type of job occupations and certifications. And we're here doing outreach as we have been, and we have made some great contacts since being a part of this organization. And we also look forward to you contacting our VA representative for our training program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Delighted to have you both here. So moving along, if we could just be brief, that would be helpful.
I'm Jennifer Smith, served in both the Marine Corps and the Army, and I just do outreach as I meet veterans and just share with them different things that they have available through the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Thank you. Look at you. You served in 2 branches. You're amazing. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm Linda Gardner. I'm the president of Jerry's World Incorporated. That is a nonprofit organization for male victims of domestic violence. I also volunteer speaking here at the Veterans Center. And I'm a sister of 2 Navy and 2 Army.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alvina Holland Robinson, and I'm the executive director of SOAR, which is Saluting Our Armed Representatives. But I'm here today representing the ARI Center, administrative manager for that, and so we'll be learning about that a little bit.
Good afternoon.
Thank
My
you.
name is Edward Turner. I'm also here representing the ARI Center, and we have a facility that we help in housing homeless male veterans, and so we'll have more information for you later on in the.
Thank you, Mr. Turner.
Thank you.
If you could join me up here, I'd appreciate it.
My name is Kalita Jackson, and I also work with the ARI Center.
Thank you, ma'am.
Rodney Warner, U.S. Army, Gulf War veteran, member of the Reboot Alumni Association.
Marcus Cobb, Vietnam veteran, the Big Red One, and also the president of the Reboot Association, which we go out and reach to help the other homeless veterans like I got to help.
Raida Dabeja, Executive Director of the Michigan Veteran Foundation.
Thank you, Mr. Beja.
Samantha Winston, a case manager.
Tina Dela Cruz, the Executive Assistant.
Awesome. Anyone else? Well, thank you all so very much for those brief introductions. Certainly, we appreciate the work that all of you do on behalf of those who've served this great nation. You know, for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and I'm darn proud of that. And I say to people all the time, soldiers are soldiers. We're not politicians. When it comes time to exert our nation's will, they come and get the youngest, the brightest, and we go away and do whatever it is that we are required to do. And it seems to me that if we are fortunate enough to make it home, there is a debt of gratitude that is owed. I'm reminded of a quote by the late Calvin Coolidge that says, "The nation which forgets its defenders may one day itself be forgotten." So we thank you all for your service. We thank you for everything that you're doing out there in that community, and certainly for remembering those who've taken that oath, wore a uniform, and served this country. So having said that, I know we got a few more people arriving. So what I'd like to do right now, though, is introduce our guest speakers. We have 2 of them. We have Mr. Edward Turner, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Square One Community Services, and he is joined by Alvina Holland Robinson, who's the House Coordinator of One Community Services. So how about a round of applause for these 2 wonderful individuals?
All right, this is our facility is called ARI Center, The community is a Square One community service. What we're going to be doing here at the center is housing homeless male veterans. Also, we'll be training. We'll have training for them. We'll be serving food for them as well. We have clothing. So, you know, if there's any male veterans that's out there now, or anyone that comes across veterans that's in need, we have a phone number, we have pamphlets and everything. So if you need anything, we can assist with anyone that may need shelter. I'll let Ms. Robinson also go into it a little deeper for me. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We are presenting to you guys the Square One Community Center. It is going to be located in the old Denby Center, which is over off of Burt Road between 7 and 8 Mile. We currently have the 3 cottages that are available, so each cottage can hold anywhere from 24 to 36 participants in it. We plan on making sure that we do appropriate intake so that we can see not only their surface issues, but take a look and see what other underlying needs that we might need to do a collaborative partnership to make sure that we are addressing those needs as well. Our housing center is going to, of course, give them a place called home. We do have packets available to you, so you can see that we've redone the buildings to make sure that it's as comfortable as possible. We're going to do education training on site, as well as we've got some corporate contracts for different services. So if the veteran wants to come in and work part-time, he'll be able to go out and do some work if he'd like. We also are in the process of seeing other corporate partners or collaborative partnerships for other projects in the area. We are interested in veterans that want to be mentors for younger men in the area. We're trying to see whether or not we know they have valuable advice that they can pass down, and so therefore we're hoping that we get veterans that come in that want to say a word and be an example. Our program, like I said, does include the intake process in which we will thoroughly go through and see what has gone on, what other avenues they've already contacted, and what we can follow up with them. So we are looking for anybody's community support. If you have an agency that you know that would like to come in and help us or would like to partner with us, we are looking for partners and we welcome you.
Awesome. I know there's some questions. I have a few questions, but I thought I'd let you guys go first. Yes, sir. If you could come on over to the mic quickly and just state your name for the benefit of all of us. Yeah, we like to see who you are. Standing tall.
Hi.
Oh, my name is Marcus Cobb. I only have one question. What is your mentoring program? Our Reboot alumni would love to contact you so we can have some volunteers and come over and help you out as much as possible.
Okay.
Excellent.
That'd be wonderful. We will definitely get a chance to talk. We not only want you to mentor to the over 24-year-olds in the area, but we're starting a program coming up soon where we want you to actually take a chance to talk to those that are aging out of high school, getting ready to come out in the world. We know you guys are valuable in that area, and we want you to take a chance, reach across and see if we can actually give them some experience, a life experience that might help them make the right decisions.
Okay, and then also we partner up with the Starvation of Kids program, which, you know, I think that we can work something where we can be more usable and feasible for you.
Well, we look forward to, we also have a gym facility. We have a gym facility that's going to be opening in July. So if you have kids that need a place to come over and practice during the week and on the weekend, please let us know that facility is going to be available for them to use.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Clara Evans, and my question is, you're speaking on male veterans, but is there anything for the females there?
At the moment, when we're opening the doors, we're only going to house the males in the cottages. We are looking at, there is a upper level to that center. It's on 5 acres worth of land. So there's an upper level to that, the main building, where we are trying to get approval to actually have a housing unit for the females. We know there's a great need. That is something that's not here. I think there's like 38 beds in the state, I think is the number that's currently.
We're being left behind.
Right, so we know that there's a need. There's actually something that I've been talking to the executive director about. And so we just need to get a few other pieces in place, but if I can talk to you after, we can definitely work on doing that.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you. Great question, because as we know, women are now serving in combat roles. The unfortunate side to that is that they're going to be coming home with some of the same kinds of issues that historically their male counterparts have come home with: post-traumatic stress disorder, combat-related stress, loss of limbs, and in some cases, unfortunately, military sexual trauma. So we want to make certain that there's a system solidly in place for that population, and this foundation is willing to help anyone in terms of providing tech support for taking care of those women as we do female stand-downs. So we got a pretty good database of women that trust us because we're veterans ourselves. For the benefit of those who just came in, we all introduced ourselves and just said something very brief about what it is that we do. So if you're one of those folk who just came in, if you could go to that mic and just kind of introduce yourselves, we would appreciate that.
I'm doing great. My name is John Gardner. Good afternoon, everyone. John Gardner, Program Manager for Veteran Hiring at Roush. I'm glad to be here.
Good to have you.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Kenneth Kabaka Reynolds. I'm the Cultural Health and Wellness Director for Best for Vets, as well as the lifetime member of Vietnam Veterans Chapter 9.
Awesome. Good to have you.
Hi, I'm Commander Jim Semerad, U.S. Navy retired, 35 years. I represent the Navy League of the United States.
Thank you. Thanks for your service.
My name is Andre Huey. I'm a veteran of 26 years of National Guards, and I'm here to represent my reserve unit.
Yeah, he's formulating his thoughts.
My reserve unit at Carmen Rankin, the Veteran Hall. So.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Just a couple housekeeping thingies. You're just in time to come to the mic and introduce yourself. The restrooms are right outside the door to your right, nice, safe, clean, and secure. And our culinary staff, and I say culinary because they're all graduates of Culinary Art School. So we don't have cooks here, we have chefs, and they're all prior military. So we have the best chow ever, and they put out some wonderful snacks for us today. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for that chow. My name is Beverlyn Hilton, and I am your Community Outreach Director for Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. So I represent all of you here today. So any questions and concerns that you might have regarding your property to prevent you from going into foreclosure, I'll be happy to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, ma'am. We appreciate that. Okay, is that everyone? Wow, time sure flies. Okay, any more questions for our guest speakers at all? No? Okay. Well, you could either hang out with me or go out there and be comfortable.
I'm gonna have some of those goodies over.
Oh, yeah, well, please.
Hi, I'm Linda Wesley from Council President Brenda Jones' office. I noticed that your project has different phases. Can you talk about those different phases of your project?
We're currently, there's 3 phases listed into the packet, if you got the packet. The first phase is where we start by having the homeless veterans come in, and we house them in the cottages. The phase 2 would be, we're planning on having an adult daycare center on the lower level of our main building. As I stated, it's 5 acres worth of land, so there is a large building in the front that has 2 stories. And then the third phase includes having a dialysis center, on-site dialysis center, so those people not only that are in our program, but those that are in the community don't have to travel outside of the community to be able to access immediate services. So we have it phased that way so that hopefully before the end of the year, we have all 3 phases of it up and running.
Great. And what are some of the requirements? I know that you want to service homeless vets, but what are some of the requirements?
You know, the basic intake is they need to be, of course, homeless. The only person that we get actually denied to our facility is somebody that has a severe history of being violent. We can't service them at that location. We'll have to make a referral for them, or if they're listed as a sexual predator because it's located right next to the McKinley Center. So if you're familiar with the area, the McKinley Center is right there on the corner. We have our restriction for that because we are going to make sure that the community is safe. So therefore, they will be screened for that. Otherwise than that, we can manage to maintain anything that they are currently doing. We can make sure they make to their mental health counseling appointments if they need to, and set up any other referrals that they might happen to need.
And how long can the veterans stay at your location?
This is a transitional housing program. We offer them up to 12 months, so during that time they need to be working with us to help set up a savings account. We'll be looking into additional housing for them. Some of the programs that we've reached out to is New Hope that's in the area that also does housing, so that we can try to make sure that the next step that they have is permanent housing so they don't have to move again. They can actually stay up into our location to 18 months with prior approval if there's a need for them to be there for an additional 6 months.
And it talks, in your brochure, it talks about job training. Can you expound on that?
We are currently working with, we have Amazon as a contract. We also, so they can do courier services, and we can get them into the warehouse if they'd like to be able to work part-time or full-time doing that. We have made some contacts to some other of the larger Meyer stores and other things, so we can get them into that. If they would like to do call center work, if there's somebody who doesn't actually want to go out into the field every day but want to do something, we have some in-house work that they'll be able to do as well, and those are centers that are going to be housed on the main floor of the main building.
And are you interested in, if anyone else who provides jobs, if they're interested in partnering with you, how can you be reached?
Okay, so we are looking for any kind of collaborative partner because we can't do it by ourselves. There's no way for us to meet every need that we can that a person needs because nobody's exactly the same. So they can reach us by contacting the 800 number that's on the flyers, or you can send us an email to miaricenter@gmail.com. You can leave us an email at our website. We have 2, which one is miaricenter.com or .org. So you can get it as either one of those. But the 800 number, you can reach directly to the executive director or either one of us. You'll get it, and then you can talk to our staff afterwards, but you'll reach one of us directly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you took a couple of my questions.
Oh.
That's okay, we got them answered. But as you and I were just kind of discussing, you guys are relatively new to this service arena for veterans. Am I correct? Okay. And so, you know, for me, it's hard to say homeless and veteran in the same sentence because, you know, those who serve this great nation certainly are deserving of a place to call home.
Yes, sir.
And so as I went through the brochure, It doesn't specifically say, you know, what services beyond those that are up and coming. So are some of these services in place right now?
There are collaborative partnerships for us to do. We do only a, I'm sorry. There are services that we have collaborative partners so that we can get them, like we have collaborative partner with McKinley Center. So we need to get somebody immediately counseling and they can't get anywhere else, we can refer them over to them. And so we have other collaborative partners that are to do immediate services until we open the first floor of our building, and then we'll have services on site for them.
Gotcha. And so what do you use to determine whether a person is a veteran or not?
A veteran or not?
Or not,
We
yes.
the intake process includes them to, if they have it, bring their DD-214. If they don't have it, we are going to research it and make sure that they are who they say they are. And then apply for any benefits in case they have not filed their benefits correctly. Make sure that they're completely screened, get them over to the VA Center for a complete checkup immediately to make sure that all of their medical and dental needs are taken care of. Because if you're not healthy on the inside, you can't really get healthy on the outside. So we can only address so much in our facility. We are not a medical center.
Sure.
That's definitely not, we will never be a hospital, but we do hope that we'll have doctors that'll come in, that want to come in and service the vets on site at least once a month or at least once a week, eventually down the line.
Okay, great. So then you would encourage them to get over to the VA Don Dingle Center to register?
Yes.
As a veteran? Sure.
Right.
And so therefore you'd be able to use their VA hospital card as evidence. And in some cases, they get what's called a verification of service dates letter.
Mhm.
It's not as detailed as the 214, but it certainly lets you know the branch of service, the dates of service, and the character of the discharge, which, if you get someone who has less than an honorable discharge, do you have a system in place to deal with that?
So part of the requirements that we do have in place, it's not necessarily from ARI Center, but as the community has requested, we do have to screen all of the participants in there. If they have a less than desirable discharge, of course, every situation is different. We have to thoroughly go through it, and unless it's something that's saying that they are going to be violent in nature or aggressive to harm themselves, there's always conversation that can be done. The unit, and we are going to have an open house coming up, do definitely want you guys to come by and take a look. If you're not familiar with the Odembe Center, you can see that the rooms are set up, that there's really two in a room in the one unit, and there's a possibility for 3 to 4 in the other room. But you are across from every daily maintenance or daily living skill that you can. So you have access to private bathrooms, you have access to the day room with TV. The site also has exercise room and gym and different things. The Alliance International is coming and partnering with us, and they're going to put a sensory garden on site. So we're looking forward to that. So they're coming in to make sure that there are some other stimulants, violent stimulants or that can agitate people, that will be there on site for the veteran to be able to enjoy.
Great, sounds excellent. Well, in the sense of the educational piece, if you need help with that, we work with Wayne State University.
Okay.
They have a program called the Harris Literacy Project, and so they're really looking to spread their influence throughout the city of Detroit. Okay. We offer it here. It's a great project. Healthcare, you can talk to some of the local colleges. They have students that need to do internships, everything from social workers to nurses. And they'll come out and do some baseline healthcare stuff that might be a benefit to you. But meantime, you guys are doing a fantastic job. We wish you every success. And if there's anything that we can do to help you move forward, we're all about helping veterans. And so if there are no further questions. Is there one more? Please.
Hi, my name is Linda Gardner, and I got two questions. One question, I would like to know, do you accept veterans if they have a felony?
Depending on the charge and the nature of the charge, and you know, because everybody has issues sometimes, so that'll be, we'll look into that and see what the nature is, and our thing is just to rehabilitate and to help everybody get back on their feet, you know. So it depends on what it is, due to the fact we're next to a school, like she was explaining, to the McKinley Center. So there's only there are restrictions that we have. So we have to do a background check and everything, and if they qualify, then it won't be an issue.
Okay, and also my second question is, by me being a dental assistant, do you bring the dentist to the facility, or they have a facility that they go to?
You know, if you're being dental, we would definitely love to make referrals to you and help them to get to you. We know automatically not everybody is going to have the transportation or have the additional funds to get transportation, so we're working on that right now to actually get a shuttle to be able to make sure they can get those stops done.
Wonderful, thank you.
Also, to that dental question, we will probably be speaking with you after that, because like she said, our large facility, we're gonna have branches of medical offices in that facility. And so some of these things that we can offer that you may be able to have a site, you know. So we can talk about different things. Like I said, we're trying to partner up with people that can just help our, you know, our veterans. So I'm a veteran myself, so I mean, I understand. I'm a Navy vet, so trying to do as much as we can.
Yes, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your questions.
Kenneth Kabaka Reynolds. What are you doing on the recovery aspect? Is this alcohol, drugs I'm seeing in there? And then the second part of that, what are we looking at plant-based? I see on your nutritional aspect, are we looking at, you talking about healing from the inside, and we know it's an inside job. So on your nutrition, I see up there that the chefs have put up a lot of fruit, which is good. You know, I like that, because usually when we go to a lot of different kind of functions, there's a lot of food there that really isn't any good for the body. So 2 points, recovery and nutrition, plant-based, hopefully.
At this time, we don't have any on-site alcohol or drug programs. We just have to make the referrals. However, we are looking for a collaborative partner that wants to come over and do a weekly meeting or a bi-weekly meeting in order to encourage them to stay on that road of keeping a clean mind, clean body to go forward. As far as the nutritional aspect, we have contacted some people, different businesses in the area regarding making sure that the food is healthy, not full of fat, that we are trying to, you know, everybody's trying to trim, well, I was gonna say everybody trying to watch their weight, but no, that's just probably that's just probably me trying to watch my weight. But to eat better, you know, our life has been complicated with all these additives in it. So if you have a food program that you would like for us to consider, please give us the information and we'll make sure we give you a call.
Thank you.
Thanks for your questions. Yeah, Eastern Michigan University and Wayne State has nutritional students that need placement.
Okay.
So they can help you or your staff identify food products that have greater nutritional value.
Okay.
So, and I should have asked this question openly, but I didn't want to put you on the spot. I asked if you were a 501c3, and your response was yes. Well, in being one of our favorite four-letter words is free.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll ask anybody for anything. The worst they can say is no, go away, and I'll go back and figure out how to reapproach it then.
Right.
So ask. And as I'm looking at the DAV rep, and you talked about filing for claims, et cetera, a lot of veterans are not aware that they are potentially eligible for service-connected disability, and sometimes we have to massage that information out of them. But my position is, when in doubt, fill a claim out. Let them say no. Don't say, and you may find, because the system is fluid now, especially with Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, and perhaps maybe what some of us older vets weren't eligible for back in the day, we are now eligible as a result of, you know, some changes and the like, but you never know.
Right.
So I'd always screen for that. My lovely friend is coming to the mic. Come right on up.
Hi, Janina Jacobs. I'm president of the Navy League. And in reference to what you were talking about, I'm sorry I got here late. I went to city council. I didn't know it was here.
Oh, okay.
Your organization, is there anything faith-based within or about it? I have a reason for asking that's directly connected to the nutrition question.
Okay. So at this moment, we are not tied to any, no church, no affiliation. However, at our large location, our large two-story building, there is a chapel there. So we would love for somebody to come up and say, can they come over and give some kind of spiritual guidance? We do know that there's somebody greater than us that rises us up every day. So if you would like for us to have your group come over and speak or be a part of their lives, we love it.
The reason I ask that, I'm connected in a lot of different ways, but if there is some kind of a faith-based aspect to your building, Ascension Health, St. John Hospital, they have a program, it's a parish nurses program that's available to all faith-based organizations, to churches of any faith, any denomination. And through that, you can get the speakers, the programs, the health information, the nutrition information as part of that, of what they offer to a larger group.
Okay.
So that you can send a representative. They have 4 or 5 different sessions every year on opioids, on alcoholism, on diabetes, on everything. And because of that, then you are eligible to all the programs that they offer that they can bring to your facility.
Well, that's going to be wonderful. We are really looking to collaborate as many partners as possible, and then we're looking forward to having a stand down in the area in that area as well. So we've begun the process in doing that.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you. Stand down.
Stand down.
Yep, we got a lot of experience with that. In fact, we do an all-female stand down, but that takes place up in Pontiac. It's very.
But what's wrong with doing one down
No,
here?
we also do one in Detroit.
Okay.
We do. I'm just letting you know we're everywhere because veterans are everywhere. And a lot of times people say, well, you're in Detroit. Why should I support you? You're going to get veterans that come from all over the place, not just Detroiters. Exactly. Because most of the local municipalities don't have, at least not the level of programming that this group provides. And now your group's coming on board. So, you know, we just want to spread the influence a bit. So I'm born and raised in Detroit. I'm from the East Side. Okay. Hello, East Side. I was in the first group of kids to be bused in 1962, so busing wasn't a bad thing for many of us. Many of us are leading organizations. Many of us are really doing a lot of things. My heroes are local, and it's all of you guys. This is where the rubber hits the road at. You know, I could watch TV all day long, but when you know people who are actually helping others, and you kind of alluded to the spirituality part of it, but it is like doing the higher powers work.
That's what we're called to do.
So, and we find that a lot of religious groups are chomping at the bit to get into these kinds of programs to respond to that spirituality need. So all you do is ask a clergy, anybody, oh yeah, I'm coming. Because we do it here. We have rotating clergy from various denominations, so we're trying not to miss anybody's religious orientation.
That's what we're looking to do with the chapel.
Lovely.
Everyone has a different denomination of their religion or what they believe, and we would like to have a variety of speakers or someone in their denomination to be able to come, and we'll set that up throughout the week or so everybody can meet.
Beautiful. And I know the Kabaka talked about mood-altering substances and perhaps how you guys address that? Do you have
That,
any plans
that we
for
don't,
that?
we
No,
don't
not-
allow.
Because you could keep it so simple. No, not that they use, but the reality is that they're going to have a history.
Yes.
So at the very minimum, maybe you could do support groups of some sort. You know, call it whatever you'd like. And, but again, I think being around all this diverse group where everybody's doing, you know, something different but quite similar, you know, together we can all do more. And so we welcome new groups. We welcome each and every one of you because, you know, we're the voice of those who wouldn't get to be some of the places that we get to. So we don't take that lightly. So I am so appreciative of you guys coming on board. You know, we started Stand Down in 1995 on Belle Isle back in the day. So got a lot of experience with that stuff.
Okay.
Now your staffing, I wanted to ask about that. Are they case managers? Are they social workers? What's your staff comprised of?
So there is staff that's available that has case management, social service history, educational history. I myself have been in the social service field, 25.
You can tell us, you want us to guess? No, just kidding.
25, 30 years. I'm a social service baby. I've not only worked as a social worker doing APS and CPS investigations, I've also worked in nursing homes. As I stated, I have a nonprofit called SOAR, which is Saluting Our Armed Representatives. I've been running nonprofits since 2007 in California. So my nonprofit history goes from California to South Carolina to Illinois to here. So I have 8 years of it, and I'm finishing up my master's degree that specializes in military family services right now. My team, like I said, is comprised of a history of educational and social services. The team that we work with through Square One and the ARI Center, they have years of community experience. So they're well known here. I'm not originally from Detroit, but don't hold that against me. I'm here for the long haul, just bought a house. So I'm here for a good time to be here and to see. My important thing is to make sure the information is available, and not only is available, but people understand what it says. You can give somebody a pamphlet, but if you don't go through the process and make sure they understand and support them through that process, giving them a piece of paper is just giving them a piece of paper. And so that's where, when I was in the social service field out in the county in Riverside, we often give referrals to people and then figure out they had never used it. And the reason why is they did not understand it to the point of following it through and then going back to make sure after they've accessed that service, how it worked for them. Was it useful for them? Is there something else that needed to be given alongside of it? So we're all about support.
Wonderful. Well, as a social worker myself, I love social workers, and I say that because school can teach you how to care for people, but can't teach you how to care about
You gotta
them.
have the experience.
If you care about them, anything you do, you'll do with their best interest in mind. Wayne State. So, any further questions from these two esteemed individuals who've presented very well information to us today? Okay. Well, listen, we want to thank you both very, very much. We wish you the best. And know that we're all out here, and you need to pick up the phone and call somebody. Okay, I believe they'll answer. So thanks again. How about it for our guest speakers today?
There are pamphlets and everything up here on the table. If anybody needs any pamphlets.
Yeah, if you want to hand some out, go right ahead. Okay, I can do that. Okay, and so, wow, I've been joined by our esteemed council member, Mr. Roy McAllister. So how about a warm welcome for Mr. McAllister?
Thank you, Ms. Latimer. First of all, I always like to give honor to God, who's the head of my life, for not only allowing me to be here, but allowing each and every one of you to be here. And I apologize of my tardiness. You know, we are in budget seasons now, and so with that and the several meetings that we still have to meet and people still want to talk to us, it kind of ties us up. So please forgive me for that. So I'm not going to bewilder much longer because I see we've had our discussion. So are we on line item 3 now, sir? Moving towards
yes, sir,
the
Roger.
special. Okay, so the roundtable and special community updates and discussions. Anyone, first of all? And Mr. Brown, it's good to see you, sir.
Sure is.
Yes, indeed.
Good to see you, Councilman
All right.
McAllister. Appreciate it. First of all, I want to give props to Tyrone for hosting today, graciously welcoming us into his facility.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I know you share a lot of our clients from the VA, and we want to thank you for all you've done for helping us make sure that our heroes get the service they deserve. So thank you. What set me over the top today was that nice spread you have set up there. I mean, that's. So, Linda, if you're taking notes, next time we host it at the City Council chambers.
She's pretending she doesn't hear you.
So just give you a quick update on the hiring fair. We just hosted our 7th hiring fair on Saturday. We welcomed 141 registrant job seekers. 525 resumes were accepted. Over 221 job offers were made out of that Saturday. So that was from 11 o'clock a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. It's our 7th one. Since 2013, we've hired over 1,000 veterans through this hiring fair. So I think John Gardner from Roush was there. So we thank all those who were helping us out. Our next red carpet registration, that's the day we open the doors and sort of do a personal point of interest for new veterans enrolling into the system. It's coming up on, looks like April 27th, Saturday at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's hosted at the Medical Center. So if you're a new veteran, haven't enrolled for VA healthcare, please join us that day. We'll take you hand by hand to getting a new doctor, setting up your first appointments, and getting you some help through VA medical services. Now for Councilman McAllister, the update that you've been waiting for, the Fisher House, Detroit. We are working closely with the Detroit Land Bank Authority, who is working with our real property folks in Washington. And from what I understand, that a contract for the broker who will be conducting the due diligence will be done shortly. They'll be awarding that contract very soon. We were held up a little bit because of the shutdown. Our contracting and our funding came from one of the areas where funding was made available to us. So we had to wait a few weeks on that. So we're back up and going. Contract should be awarded any day now. And once that happens, they'll conduct a due diligence, which should take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. So we're hoping, realistically, I think sometime late summer, early fall is when we'll probably have an announcement that the land will be transferred. And the property, that we're looking for is at the corner of John R. and Palmer. And this will host the Detroit Fisher House. We're working closely with Fisher House Michigan, who's our 501c3 charitable organization doing the fundraising. To date, they've raised over $4.9 million for the Fisher House in Ann Arbor and Detroit. They are looking to establish a Fisher House at every medical center in Michigan. But right now, only Detroit and Ann Arbor are the only ones selected by VA and Fisher House Foundation as priority sites to host a Fisher House. So we're looking forward to that. And hopefully this will be coming to a close as far as our journey of acquiring the property. As you know, Detroit VA Medical Center is kind of landlocked. We ran out of property a long time ago as far as constructing new projects. And the land there at John R. and Palmer couldn't be better as far as the proximity and its location of the VA Medical Center Detroit. So we want to thank the councilman for all your work, Council President Jones, and the rest of the city council members for supporting this project.
Mr. Browning, thank you so much for that. And just a couple of things. Is it John R. and Palmer or John R. and Pequot?
John R. and Palmer.
Palmer, okay. Because I know we was fighting for that. And one of the things I was concerned about is I'm glad that we are getting a Fisher House here in Michigan, but Ann Arbor is also looking at one, but I wanted us to make sure that we had one here in the city of Detroit. So I just thank you for the work that you have done as far as getting this moving forward, and I look forward to later on as this continues to move on. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other reports? Okay. Oh, good.
Thank you, Councilmember McAllister, for the opportunity here. As I introduce myself, Commander Semerad, I was embarked on a investigation, kind of like a research thing, looking at some of the veterans groups in the Broadhead Armory, and we've done a lot of work, and we've right now we're looking hopefully to have a Memorial Day ceremony in front of Broadhead on May the 23rd, which Memorial Day is the 25th, so this would be a Saturday. A lot of people are really busy on the 25th doing services, but cooperating with Ben Carson High School and the Vietnam Veterans of America organization to actually do a flag ceremony in front of Broadhead and a cleanup of the facility. The future of Broadhead is still pending with the city of Detroit, so we're not really clear on what that might look like. But in the meantime, we're collecting a lot of people that are interested. The April and May timeframe is really busy with a lot of Navy and veterans activities with the University of Michigan and some of the other Marine Corps birthdays and things like that. So stay tuned for some of those announcements through Linda's newsletters. We'll offer that out there. I did want to offer a little plug in support of Mr. Browning and Janina here about health care for veterans. And having worked at the VA hospital, one of the things that I learned, and it's a really great takeaway, is your health is really composed of three components. One is your physical health, second one is your mental health, and the third is your spiritual health. And you need all three to be a healthy veteran. And so when anybody that can offer any piece of that service, your physical health is only 1/3 of it. So you could be disabled. But if you have a good mental health and a good spiritual health, you can make a strong contribution to your community. So I wanted to add that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for that information.
Thank you so much. Are there any other reports, updates? Oh, yes, ma'am. That's Janina.
Just real quick, and I got this information from Jim, my colleague over here from the Navy. You may recall a couple of years ago, prior to the commissioning of the USS Detroit, that in April of that year, there was a celebration and ceremony, a ship naming ceremony for the Carl 11, which is a Berkeley-class destroyer. And in case you're interested on the progress of that ship, since it is named after one of our local fellows, Jim informed me that the keel of the ship has been laid about a month ago in February, and they expect to get the ship active sometime in 2020, was it? Now, I don't know, that's wishful thinking, but, and that's kind of quickly, that's pretty quick for a ship to be built, but just thought you might want to know that. I don't know any information about commissioning, if it's going to be here, if it's going to be elsewhere. I think if it would be here, we would have known about it by now. No? Oh my God, oh no. That was a lot of work. So, but anyway, I just wanted to give you an update on that because sometimes we have these things and we don't know what the progress is. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And you as well.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess as members report, and I guess I'm the only member that's going to give a report. And so therefore, one of the things, Ms. Beverly, did you want to say something? Ms. Beverly? Yes? Put her on the spot there.
It's okay.
That's my buddy.
You can sit. Okay. Mr. Sabri. Oh, okay.
I always have something to say, but when I was up earlier, I felt kind of rushed, and I did not have an opportunity to bring you greetings on behalf of our Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabri. But what is so important to me is for us to reach out to those family members and friends that are in trouble and kind of wait until the last minute. We have too many programs and services available through the Wayne County Treasurer's Office to prevent families and friends from going into foreclosure. So I always am excited to have the opportunity to talk about it. If you have anything in your communities, we'll be happy to come set up a table. We'll have a representative. And for many of you that are in this room, and especially Linda and the councilman and Mr. Chapman, the treasurer will travel. He will come into your communities and share with you what we need to do to keep our properties from going into foreclosure. We don't want them. We want you to stay in your properties. So thank you. God bless you all. And to our veterans, we certainly appreciate you. We thank you. And I will give you an update in the next couple of months. We will have our annual Veterans Forum. And Mr. Chapman, of course, we'd love for you to serve as our MC for that. So we will let you know, and that's going to be in November of this year. So we'll give you the date and information once it's finalized. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
God bless you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you
very
so much. Okay, one of the things that I just want to give a few announcements on some upcoming meetings. And the next Military Veterans Task Force will be April the 9th, again from 3 to 4, April the 9th from 3 to 4, and it will be right here at the Michigan Veterans Foundation. So we look forward to seeing you within a month, a little more than a month. And then also on April the 18th, City Council President and at-large member Ayers will be having a small business empowerment fair, and that will be on April the 18th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and it's going to be at the Ford Resources Engagement Center, which is at 15491 Madeline. That's 15491 Madeline, and of course that's in Detroit. And they're going to be having neighborhood events, purchasing events, cash and readiness events, and they're going to be at different times. And this flyer is on the table, so therefore you will be able to have it. And what I was doing also is, remember I always talk about the mental health task force. And there are so many of our veterans that are engaged with the challenges of mental health. So, you know, I always have a mental health task force every third week in the month. And this year is going to be March 19th. So what I did was I had reached out, because what I'm trying to do is to move it around, and I had reached out to a group and they have not gotten back with me. And so first of all, I want to thank Mr. Tyrone for allowing us to have the military veterans here. And I think we just need to give him a hand, not only for having this, but that spread over there. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And with that, when I came in, because we have not heard from this other group, I just asked him, I said, do you think we can have the mental health task force here? Because that will bring in not only folks from the outside, but make sure that some of our veterans can be involved with this. And he said, you know, we're going to work on that. So hopefully on March 19th, again, from 3 to 4, the Mental Health Task Force Roundtable will be here. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about what we're doing. We have a mental health roundtable each month, and we have targeted May the 4th with WC3. We're going to the different campuses, but this time it's going to be on the East Side campus, WC3, and we're going to have a mental health workshop. Because what has happened is back in the 90s, a lot of our mental health facilities were closed. And a lot of people say, well, they're closed and they're gone, but they are here. And so the objective is to reach out and bring it together at the federal level, state level, as well as the local level, because it's just not a Detroit issue, county issue, it is a national issue. So these are the things that we want to bring out, and we want the federal government to look at us and to take a template of what we're doing and spread it throughout the country. And just to say, we've also, there was a group out of Philadelphia that heard about us. They want to join us. There's a group out of Ohio that heard about us, and they want to join with us. And as well as we have just learned that there is a group out of Windsor, Ontario. So we're going international with this, and we're going to make this thing big. So I just want to invite each and every one of you, if Mr. Tyrone can work it out, the 19th, 3 o'clock, the Mental Health Task Force. And thank you so very much. And if there is nothing else, again, Mr. Tyrone, I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to be here in this facility, and as well as feeding us. I mean, that's great. Yes, yes, indeed.
To have y'all here.
Yes, indeed. So with that, there's nothing else. We're going to retire the colors, and we're going to let you finish that spread over there, and then we're going to see you on the 19th. All right.
All rise if you're able to for the retiring of the colors. Color guard.
Detail. Forward, half step, come left, detail, retrieve colors. Ready, front. Left, please. Forward, move.
How about a round of applause for our color guard? They are program participants. Some are grads. Some are employed with us now. So they're rocking and rolling, and that's what it's all about, bringing them back from the abyss to becoming positive, productive citizens all over again. So thank you all so very much. Safe journeys. I'll see you on the trail eventually. Take care.